Hello friends, I hope you are taking utmost care of yourself. And let me begin this session with an inspiring thought. And I quote, "Even the darkest night will end and the sun will rise." And on that note, let me welcome you to this session on Parajumble. And the objective of this session would be that I will be covering a recap of session 1 quickly. And I will be also discussing 2 important tips to solve parajumbles. So let us start, my dear friends, by defining what are parajumbles. In this, you are given sentences that are in jumbled form. They are not in right order, and you are expected to rearrange the sentences in logical order such that they make sense. So the point to be noted here, my dear friends, is that you have to make it logical. It must seem coherent. There has to be link between each of the sentences so that you're able to convey the right message. So quickly let us understand it through an example which we did in the classroom, and it's fairly simple. And in this type 1, I would say this is type 1 because you're given the first sentence, so you're sure about the first sentence, and there are 4 other sentences which follow, which are not in order. So let us analyze it quickly, and let us analyze the first sentence, that is P when he did not know. So probably this may be the sentence which follows after the first sentence, when he. Let us move to the second sentence, Q, when he was nervous and. Now if you see, this sentence does not make any sense. So Q is ruled out. So let us move to R, when he heard the hue and cry at midnight. So probably this may be a possibility. So far P and R seem to be following after when he. So let's be doubly sure. Let's move to S, when he what to do. Now this is not a proper sentence. So after this analysis, we are clear that Q and S are not going to be the first sentence in this question. So we are left with P and R. So now quickly we will just look at the options. P and R is actually there in option A and D, isn't it? Now we have to move to the next sentence to decide which will come after P or R. When he did not know, he was nervous, he heard the hue and cry at midnight, and what to do. So between P and R, the obvious answer, which is logical, is that when he heard the hue and cry at midnight is definitely the first sentence. Now he was nervous, did not know what to do. So what will follow after this sentence R, when he heard the hue and cry at midnight? That means there is some noise, there is some commotion, something has happened. So as a result, there is going to be an outcome. So the outcome will be that he was nervous. So that's a human reaction. So R, after R you have Q. Now if you see quickly, you have already zeroed in on 2 sentences, that is R and Q. So quickly you can guess that out of A and D, A is definitely the answer. But let's be doubly sure. We will try to fit this. When he heard the hue and cry at night, he was nervous and did not know what to do. So obviously A is the option, that is RQPS. Fairly simple, my dear friends. So the answer is A option, RQPES. So the sentence would read like, when he heard the hue and cry at midnight, he was nervous and did not know what to do. So I am sure, my dear friends, this refreshes our first session. So quickly we will move on to type 2, wherein our task becomes slightly difficult now. Because you are not aware of the first sentence. 4 to 5 sentences are given and you have to arrange them in logical sequence. And many a times you're given 6 sentences as well. So quickly let me just move on to the important tips to solve parajumbles. The first tip is that in any given parajumble comprising of 4, 5, 6 sentences, you have to look for the sentence that clearly introduces a person, place, committee, or concept in the parajumble. That will most likely be the opening sentence. Quickly let us understand this through an example. Now if we see there are 4 sentences. He was looking forward to opening up the presents in the solitude of his room. Ram's birthday was celebrated with a big bash, but the guests insisted he open them up right there. Several people arrived at his home bearing gifts, both big and small. So in this, if we apply this rule or tip 1, that he is a pronoun, and in B, Ram is a person. So probably, or in fact, definitely, this is going to be the first sentence, because it is talking about a person. And the other sentences are actually in the form of pronouns. That means before the pronoun something happens. So definitely in this sentence you are able to arrive at B option. And quickly if we see C option as well, but the guests insisted he opened them up right there. So 2 clues. But is a transition. That means it is talking about something in contrast. So something must have happened before that. And second clue is he. He means you're not sure who is it referring to. And in the third, in D sentence as well, several people arrived at his home. It's not clear whose home. So the only definite answer that we are able to get is in B. So definitely B is going to be the first sentence. So that is going to be our primary objective in any parajumble. So that is tip 1. So the answer is BDAC. Ram's birthday was celebrated with a big bash. Several people arrived at his home bearing gifts, both big and small. He was looking forward to opening up the presents in the solitude of his room, but the guests insisted he open them up right there. Okay, so I think we are making sense, and let us move to tip 2. The second objective should be that you need to spot the transition words such as also, in fact, again, as well as, besides, furthermore, in addition to, likewise, moreover, etc. But now when we say transition words, it means that it gives you a clue that definitely this is not going to be the first sentence. If any sentence starts with such words like also, in fact, but, besides, you can quickly conclude that something must have happened before that, because it is a transition in the concept. There is some other idea which has already gone before that. So it is definitely not going to be the first sentence. Let us understand this through an example. A and B. In fact, unbranded players are offering packs which are twice the size of a branded product with similar or better quality at cheaper prices. Family packs by many smaller brands have challenged the giants by offering. So in this, quickly, you don't need to read the full sentence. If you see in fact and family packs, so obviously B will come before A. There is no doubt about it, my dear friends. Because in fact is a transition word. In fact means that there is something that has already been talked about. So I think fairly simple. So now, my dear friends, we have quickly talked about the 2 tips, and in my further videos I will be discussing 3 important key tips to solve parajumbles. 1, spotting personal pronouns. Secondly, spotting demonstrative pronouns. And we will also understand articles approach to solve parajumbles. So quickly to sum up, my dear friends, we talked about tip 1, that we need to look for the sentence that clearly introduces a person, place, committee or concept in the parajumble. That will most likely be the opening sentence. And And second tip that we discussed, that we need to spot the transition words such as also, in fact, again, as well as besides, but, therefore. So, my dear friends, I think we have been able to cover two important tips, and in this journey of Parajumble practice, we would be able to become proficient in the long run. So quickly note that I will be sending you a link to practice Parajumble, and Parajumble assignment 2 will be sent on Thursday, and answers with detailed explanation of assignment 2 on Friday. So my dear friends, it was nice talking to you, and hope you enjoyed this session, and I would again urge you, stay indoors and stay safe. Thank you so much for your time.